This is TWiT.
Well, I'm so glad I'm on the nothing beat because one of my son's favorite phrases these days is nothing. When you ask him what he wants, he goes, no, nothing. Which I feel like he's mocking me, but he has no idea about the show, so whatever. But yes, today is July 12th, and it was the big day that Nothing showed up in London to unveil Nothing Phone 1. It is now officially launched, and it's in the hand of reviewers, including member of the show, Florence Ion from Gizmodo. She's had hands on with the unit. She's been using the Nothing Phone 1. And if you go to gizmodo.com, you can check out her article all about it. And also make sure, if you follow her on Twitter, I think she's Oh That Flow on Twitter still, right?
Yeah, Oh That Flow.
Hit her up on Twitter with any questions or anything you're curious about, and she'll test it. And she's going to be on the show soon. We're working out the next time she's on. She's going to bring it on so we can see it. So we're all very excited. So Flo has the phone, which is amazing.
Can I just say before you dive into all the details, if you show that screenshot again of the page, it really just looks like a hard drive.
It does. It really does.
It really does.
Yeah.
It looks like a hard drive in her hands. That's what it looks
exactly. Like. Which is just strange. It really does. So the big question for us is that, we knew the pre-announcement to the announcement revealed the LED panel in the back, but there was lots of questions about, would there be any other bells and whistles? Would there be other gimmicks? Would there be other things to differentiate this phone from other phones on the market? We got the leak of the pricing, thanks to a German Amazon price leak. And so, given the pricing, it started us leading down the path of thinking, oh, maybe this is going to be more mid-range instead of flagship, which was memorable of OnePlus when it first launched, that it was, the flagship killer. When Carl Pei was at OnePlus, the idea was to provide an affordable phone. And here we are back, I don't want to say with Act 2 or a rerun or anything like that, but here's Carl Pei back with the Nothing Phone, and it is from top to down a mid-range phone with a weird set of LEDs on the back. So the cost is $399 to $499 British pounds sterling, which is roughly, I think, it's like 500-ish or so US dollars.
Yeah.
It's running a Snapdragon 778 G Plus, which definitely makes it a mid-range phone. And the chip has been modified to allow for 15-watt key wireless charging and 5-watt reverse wireless charging. With it, you get 3 years of Android updates and 4 years of security updates. And it is officially, no doubt about it, not available in the US. Cited because AT&T 4G is unpredictable coverage. AT&T 4G is unpredictable. T-Mobile 4G, 5G networks got no Verizon compatibility. So that's a lot of the reasons why it's not available in the US yet. But they do aim to release a US version, quote unquote, in the future. And if you go to gizmodo.com and look at Flo's review, she seems like she likes it. She liked the glyph notification system, which is also known as the 900 LED lights on the back of the phone that makes it look like a light up hard drive. She said it looks very cool in person when the lights flicker on in tandem with the notification sound. But if you choose any rapid pace lighting effects, it can feel a little seizure or migraine inducing, much like an episode of Pokemon from the late 90s. So there it is. Also, there are samples of the results of the camera have been posted. People have taken photos, and we've seen what the camera stuff looks like. So it's out there in the world. What does everybody think of it? Is this something or is it nothing?
Yeah, I'm curious what you think, Tshaka, because
I love it.
We've seen this thing coming a mile away, literally. You love it.
I absolutely love it, because as much as we just ruminate over these black or different color slabs of phone, when you have phones like Nothing and Techno and the Asus ROG, the gaming phone, that's Pro 6, I think, that just came out, they have something interesting about them. You have all these phones that are coming out of the East that are like Gundam variants and all that. So I like having these phones that give us some variation on the slab, give us something else to look at. And I really love the movie Blade, and they talked about vampire glyphs. So I'm kind of partial to the word glyph. I kind of have a thing for that. So, and I've studied Egyptology a bit and glyphs. And so, yeah, glyphs work for me. I think it's a compelling phone because, again, I just think it's not going to be for everybody, but for those who want something else to look at other than, a dark colored, muted colored slab of phone, it gives them an option.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at one of the side shots of the photos that Flo took, man, from the side, like seeing where there's a shot. Yeah, that's the one. Mm-hmm. That looks like an iPhone from the side.
Yeah,
I mean, holy moly, look at that. So reminiscent of an iPhone. But I mean, obviously,
you could grate cheese on that. Or front with.
Yeah, right. Obviously on the back though, very, very different, right? And that's the kind of marquee standout feature. Yeah, I don't know. It's neat. I this is just one of those devices that I think, no question, you got to see it in person before you make your true kind of determination on this. Because seeing it in images is probably one thing, but seeing it kind of animated in real life, doing the flashing thing, also like having those lights kind of timed with the ringtone that you select. So when you're hearing things, the lights are doing certain things tied to the noise and everything. That's like an experience. It's not just, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more than just like a ringtone feature. It kind of has a character to it, a signature to it, a quality like that.
Agreed. So. And I like the battery LED indicator. So if you've got your phone face down on your desktop, you can see your charging status or the battery status. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the thing, and I agree with all of this. Like Tshaka, I've been preaching from the pulpit of saying I want phones to be different and to be kind of separate from the pack and stuff like that. And Jason and Huyen, I am pro mid range. Like I think mid range is your biggest customer base and audience potential. I think the people affording the Samsung price $1,000 plus phones is few and far between. I like the mid range a lot better. Just with all this, and by the way, I'm totally into it. When there's a US version, I will consider it, and or I would love to get my hands on one. But I after the release of the LED thing, what was it, 3 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. I was like, there's got to be something else tangible here other than a mid-range Snapdragon chip that supports wireless charging, and there was just nothing. It was lacking. It was lacking any other things that separated it from the pack, other than the back of the phone and the LED light system. I don't know. I was hoping that there was more to it.
I'm really kind of inspired by like Ron's enthusiasm and Tshaka's enthusiasm. And I'll say again, I don't think this phone is for me, but I think we've had some good feedback. Like there was one, was it in chat or was it a mail that we got? We're talking about how the LEDs could be really good for people who have some level of hearing loss. Yeah. And like you said, Jason, like maybe the musical aspect, like we've seen some really interesting collaborations. Like we already talked about like the Pixel operator and things like this or just kind of other things like Xiaomi has like their whole like film festival. Like there's like ways to promote things that really kind of take a feature out of the box and make it like really special, maybe sometimes a little bit too far and taking it too far, but maybe sometimes taking things a little bit far is a good thing. And not to say that nothing didn't do nothing with their marketing, but I feel like there's a lot of lost opportunity to really kind of make some of these features kind of like present them in over the top ways, but that made them really cool. You know what I mean? Like I really would have loved to see, maybe someone could have taken like the whole coordinating the LEDs and really making it like visualize with music, or having like a really cool, like, I don't know, ad run or story where people were like actually using it like for hearing loss applications. I don't know, like all of that was actually compelling to me. And I totally agree. People should have choices. Just, I feel like there was so much weight put on this phone to like disrupt and break boundaries and be something totally new and different. And it's like, no, it's fine. It's cool. Fine. It's full. It's not nothing. It's nothing, but it's not nothing.
Right. It's not nothing. It's not, I mean, but you have a great point, and like give me something more to latch onto to make this differentiate. And I don't know, but whatever. Maybe they're starting slow. I'll give them credit. So.
But you know what? I think because we get so many phones in our hands and so many devices, I think sometimes we can lose a little bit of perspective on just what the average user gets excited behind. Because I know for a lot of people in my sphere who aren't rabid techies, they get excited by very minimal customization options with, the kind of cases they can buy. A case with a black woman with curly hair with natural hair on it, or something that really allows them to kind of stand out and differentiate from all the different devices. So I think for the people for whom this is going to be something that excites them. I think that the LEDs, even though there are some of us who may want more out of it, for a group of people, that is going to be the thing that entices them and draws them in. And I actually have to agree about the people dealing with hearing loss. Whenever when I do my reviews, look at the features that Google built in for accessibility, because a lot of manufacturers break those features when they skin the OS. And so I think that is a great opportunity for this device to promote itself for the deaf and hard of hearing community. I have my brother-in-law wears the implant, and I'm drawing a
cochlear. Is it
he has a cochlear implant. And so I know, something like that could be a really interesting way to connect with a community of people as well. So I don't know. The LEDs may be enough for some people, for more than maybe what we think.
Yeah.
At the price range, maybe, like at that $400, $500-ish price range.
Yeah.
Or, $399 to $499 GBP, British, Great Britain pound, whatever it is. GBP, that's the thing. It could, the LED is enough to look different, and it's affordable. I think those are two definite checks in the win column.
And the cameras aren't bad. I was looking at the photos they posted, and of course they're posted to their site. But like even this macro photo, I'm assuming it's a macro photo of the cat. There's beautiful detail in that photo, and a lot of these cameras that are calling their images and their macro cameras aren't really macro cameras, and that's a whole discussion in and of itself. But that's a beautiful photo. So the cameras look to be very promising.
Yeah, I'm also kind of curious to know if at some point Nothing provides some sort of an SDK or something on those lights to give developers the ability to play around with that in creative ways, because I imagine developers could do some pretty fun things with those lights.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah.